Hey, family. How are y'all doing? Y'all hit one if y'all could hear me. Y'all hit one. Y'all hit one. What is going on with the family? Oh, wow, y'all. Y'all know when y'all see these pearly whites start smiling, it means, ooh, wow. Family. Oh, you know I got to deal with the haters, right? Y'all know I'm not gonna let the haters slide, right? Y'all pray for me, because I got to deal with my fan base. They love to watch what Sister E doing. Saints just can't get past it. Can't get past it. Y'all. Let me tell y'all something. The devil knows that he done lost. The truth was exposed. We had an amazing weekend, family. Y'all know I'm laughing, right? So, I've been dealing with these haters for a good little minute. I expected it, y'all. So y'all know with the whole limber thing. I want to make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear. I need everybody to hear my voice. Oh, everybody got to hear my voice on this one. I got to let the haters. Hey, what is it, Rabbi Yasrael? Check and make sure that you've been added as a mod. All right, you've been added. Y'all, the haters, they make my day though. They don't even realize it. Every time when I do something, I just be like, yeah, they coming out. When I know it's good and it's really good, I know they coming out with something. Oh, Saints already know that the Saints was upset. Yeah, I got a little breakout here. I know I got allergy season. I always have little small breakouts, and I can see it, and it's irking me right around the fall. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but it's gonna clear on up fast. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Y'all hit that like button. How many I got in here? The haters are really showing their heads, their necks. So rumor has it that Sister E and all of us on the panel took advantage of Kohini. They said they taking advantage of that old man. How Saints when he telling his history and his legacy. Saints, I know y'all don't want to talk about this, but I had to. I got to. Pray for me. I have to address the foolishness because it's so hilarious. Here's my clap back to Cherry Love and the rest of the Get Along gang. Get some business, ma'am. Don't be a hater, because it's not very attractive at all. And you have access to the comment section. You're more than welcome to comment. I did release you out of my Facebook jail. Now, so people want to say that pork rind betting need to stop. Only reason I'm saying that is because they eat pork, so I can say that. It ain't even no doubt about it. Since I'm Ethel now. My new nickname, Pastor Kelly, hold on. Hey, I'm live. You're more than welcome to come on if you want. Hey, I'm live, but you're more than welcome to come on if you like, because I'm getting ready to replay a video real quick. Oh, my brothers, they love to call me. It's so interesting. So back to the subject at hand. So the whole DNA test thing. Saints, this limba thing, I have never seen people concerned about my DNA and me using GEDmatch. So they proceeded to say that we're playing with the numbers. First, I'm trying to figure out, how can you finagle numbers when that's all you're doing is uploading data and you're picking projects? So MDLP, we're back to this again, is not a true project. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to fix this jacket. It's not a true project that we should be using. So MDLP world is it. So let me show y'all something real quick. Hold on. Let me find it. I'm looking for a family. Hold on. I'm looking for it. I know somebody in her crew out here. So I'm going to play something for you, Cherry. And you can go do another video, which I know you do because you just love doing videos about us. So have at it, ma'am. This is, y'all, these things are just like, I didn't quite think that, our DNA stuff is, it's going to create such an uproar. From G-Con on down to Cherry. They arguing with me and Brien's thing, y'all. I'm coming. And don't start fussing in my chat. Talking about don't talk about it. Y'all know me. Come on. Y'all know I have to address certain little things. So these little, these little comments that they make. And yeah, my new nickname is Ethel, y'all. So I guess they took the last 4 parts of my name and decided to make a joke out of it. And don't understand that I was named after my great grandmother. So it's a joke now, my name. My name was given to me by my uncle who is deceased, and he came up with the name. So my name is Marthel. So someone proceeds to make jokes about my name and call me Ethel, but that's fine. Because if I make jokes about you, it's not going to be pretty. I can hurt your feelings in 5 minutes. But I choose not to, because it's not ladylike. It's not ladylike for me to come for you, because I'm a lady. I don't quite know what you are, but I'm a lady. So I'm going to conduct myself as one. So instead of addressing you and your foolishness, Cherry Love, I'm going to play a nice little video for you. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get past it. Once I say this, we good. Because these saints lie. I ain't never seen a pack of Christians lie like this before in my life. I thought lying was a sin. I thought lying was a sin. No wonder they don't like the commandments, because they breaking every single one of them. So yeah, no accountability. Just lying. I don't understand this. How are you a believer and a saint and you lie? As soon as you open your mouth, a lie fall out. Y'all, I ain't never seen believers just like, and you're giving proof and they still lying on your proof. Just lie. Just lie just because they like to lie. But I shall carry on. But with that being said, then not to mention, I ain't going to I'm going to let my brothers handle that one. Be prepared, something's coming. But yes, they love to lie. So I wanted to address their lie. They said that we manipulated the numbers, MDLP, we shouldn't be using it. Then they insulted Cohen by saying that he's a convert. This man just walked y'all through his entire history and the legacy of his tribe. Wow. Now I want to know who this African is they done went and got to speak on their behalf. I can speak to my community. But yeah, y'all just sat here and this wonderful man, humble, beautiful spirit, came and sat down and talked to us. And these vultures, every single one of them, decide to make it seem as if one, we are these saints are, y'all are so pitiful. So he came on his own. Cohen came. We took very good care of him. He's a wonderful man, and he's a part of our community. He's blessed us. We consider him to be one of our leaders and our elders. So we love him, and we love his spirit. So I'm coming for him. I'm coming for him to speak for him. I advise y'all to back off and don't say anything else about him, or I will appear on your page and blast you and tell people about you. So I would advise you to back up off of him. Thank you. Now, back to my normal scheduled program. So now let's start talking about the lie that they proceed to say. And when I say let me go back and rephrase something, because saints will go tear my words up. I will do a live and talk about some other stuff I've seen on your lives to show that you're not saved. You're ungodly. And you really need to find Jesus or Yeshua, because he's not in your heart. And that goes for every single one of the people on their panel. Now they're going to say Sister E's upset. I'm not upset, because Yah showed us this weekend who we are. He's constantly showing us who we are. I just wanted to address that though, because to say that he is a convert when he gave you his history, out of order. So because you are so angry that we're calling ourselves Limba, you're going to attack the whole tribe just because you want to. Then proceed to say that we are using him. No, we're not. So I'm just going to sit here and just say that get saved. Because I'm telling you, every single time y'all put y'all mouth on us, Yah stands for us. Something falls apart. It's not us, it's him. He's constantly showing y'all, stop. And y'all keep going. Keep going with the slanders. Keep going with the lies. And I really believe that God is a God of love and grace. That he's giving y'all a chance to repent. He's giving y'all a chance to repent. And he's showing you little things like, stop, y'all. Okay. Y'all had somebody in y'all community. What is it? 7-Day Adventist. Pastor Kelly want to come in here. He must know I'm irritated. I'm not really irritated though. Hold on. Let me pull him in here. I don't know. I don't know. It's like they're a bunch of jackals, hyenas, parasites. I said it. So, and I have no problems about saying it. But let me let Pastor Kelly in here. But like I said, no shame, no foul. I know the world that I'm dealing with, and I know the type of people I'm dealing with. Now, the thing is, back in the day, I was trying to be a little bit more reserved and say, you know what? I'm going to just try my best to not say anything and just let them be. All bets off. I don't care. That's the place y'all don't want me at. I really don't care. She wants folks to come on her channel. She's welcome to come on mine. Cherry Love, you're more than welcome to come on Let's Talk with Sister E. Email me. My email address is sister. I've said this before. Sister, SISTERE. I think I spelled it right, y'all, didn't I? Let's talk @gmail.com. No one is coming on your channel because you're disrespectful. And what we're going to talk about is behavior. Let's talk about that. And I want you to find every single scripture that condones your behavior. So, Cherry Love, email me and you're welcome to come on my channel and we can talk about godly behavior. That's the only thing people need to talk to you about is your poor behavior. How are you a light and you're insulting people. You cuss. You say the most ungodly, wretched things that I've ever heard a Christian person to say. Dangerous. Dangerous. So show me in the Bible where your behavior is acceptable. Show me where lying is acceptable in the Bible. Since you say that you are Christian, that's not acceptable. Show me that that's acceptable. She can't. But with that being said, family, Sister E is good. I'm very good. I just don't like how they attack this man's tribe, Limba, calling them converts for the sake of winning. That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. So, with that being said, wait a minute. Let me see. Who in here? I'm waiting for. How many people I got in here? I got 99 folks in here. Y'all quiet. Okay, so get those thumbs up, family. Like I said, she's welcome to come on my channel. We'll talk about godly behavior. Show me a scripture where cussing people out is godly. Show me where lying, now let's say lying demon that she is, because she's a lying demon. I can see a demon a mile away. And she's one of them. Lying demon. Show that she's a lying demon, y'all. Saints is a lying demon. I called her demonic last time I saw her, and I will tell her in her face again, you're demonic. And you need to be set free and delivered, because you're dangerous to yourself, and you're dangerous for teaching people, because the accountability of your behavior and you showing people that it's godly, the blood is on your hands, because not only are you acting up, you're teaching people that it's fine to act like that. Wow. Man. So you're accountable for the people you teach. Some people ain't meant to teach, saints. My old school folks would have told her to sit down and get saved. Yeah. Oh, baby, that Pentecostal auntie would have said, sit down and get saved and delivered, and would have been rebuking her as she walked in the door, like I do. Because you got to rebuke a demon and don't play with it. I call her a demon coming through the door, and call and make her, and will rebuke her. She's so much of a demon. It's the same person. So you got to rebuke it as it walks in. So, but with that being said, people, Kohen Hamadishi was so excited, and he loved the community and how we've embraced him, and he has embraced us. He has an amazing spirit, and he has an amazing. I sent you the link. I think I did. I hope I sent you the link and nobody else. I sent it to you, Pastor Kelly. I sent you the link. I texted to you. So come on in. But yeah, y'all don't insult. And I will say this much. I know that she gets under y'all skin. Don't insult her in the chat, because the Most High God is going to deal with her. I feel bad for her. Because he's going to deal with her. Because again, that was a great opportunity, and Most High God is showing us, and he's constantly showing us. He's constantly showing us that what we're doing is his will. While we're watching their community have issues, they've argued with people on live. They didn't argue with each other. They didn't kicked each other out. They didn't. Shield Squad is no more. It's Unshield Squad. What else? I mean, it's just so much. I mean, it's just like, wow. But hey, guess what? That happens when you create hostility. Hostility stays with you. Now keep in mind, our community got it's got some stuff going. We got people with issues, which is, norm. But we address it and try to help each other out. Be saints. But like I said, I just want to give me scripture where your behavior is godly. I need scripture. Show me where your behavior is godly. Show me where your behavior is godly. Show me where a lying spirit is godly. Now, with that being said, I'm good. I wanted to say that, family. I have been laughing. I'm waiting for Pastor Kelly to get here. I've been laughing at the foolishness that I've been getting calls about. I mean, it's been like, I've been like, wow. Man. They're so angry that Yah is constantly blessing us and showing us who he is and understanding his word and understanding that his laws and his commandments are not done away with, but we are supposed to follow it. What? In the spirit. We're supposed to follow it in the spirit. So, with that being said, it testifies to who you are. The Holy Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit. If you don't see somebody with the fruits of the Spirit, you begin to see this poor behavior. When you carry the fruits of the Spirit, you walk in love. The lack of the fruits of the Spirit is lack of self-control, rage, anger, all this cussing and lying. That's not the fruits of the Spirit. But fruits of the Spirit that we know is patience, love, kindness, long-suffering. These are the fruits of the Spirit. And these people bear no fruit, period. And it's obvious. Hey, Pastor Kelly.
Hey, how's it going, sis? How's everything?
It's going good. I just came out here to address a few things, and I was going to play Major's video where he talked about MDLP because he had been trying to put, he's been kind of playing it. So I was going to play it on here. But I also wanted to address a few things that we've heard where people are saying that, the limba converts and, we brought Cohen Hamadishion and we were using him and all types of stuff. And I'm like, wow.
Well, just a couple of things. And one thing it tells you is that these people are operating with their own agendas and they choose to hear what they want to hear. With them making that type of comment tells you that they did not listen to the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the two key things that was highlighted in the interview, number one, Cohen said that he and Tudor Parfit is very good friends. They're best friends.
Yeah.
Tudor Parfit, and you guys could look it up, he was on TEDx and he taught on the limbas being discovered and being confirmed, not as converts, but being the original people of the book.
Yes.
He mentioned about the ark,
mm-hmm.
right? He mentioned a number of different things that transpired. But the two things that Elder pointed out, and I'm really grateful for him, and see what disappoints me is these same people that's talking bad about the rabbi. They won't do that against the Ashkenazi community, elders there. They won't even do that against elders. They show more respect for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
They show more respect for the conscious community.
Mm-hmm.
Those that don't even believe.
Yeah.
But then when you hear what he stated, Elder pointed out two key things that just completely obliterates their assertion.
Yeah.
He pointed out how the person, the tester, was doing the testing from the Ashkenazi Jewish community, and his DNA was 1.25.
And his was, thank
And
you.
then the initial test that they did was 25%
Yep.
from our community. So just 25% versus 1.25 will tell you who's the convert and who's the original.
Mm-hmm.
But then they tested them again and it went from 25 to 45. I know 20 to 45.
Mm-hmm.
So it went up. Then it went from 45 to 70. So 70 versus 1.5% is no comparison.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you who's the original and it tells you who may have basically intermingled with our people by way of, we already know, whether it's from their participation in enslaving our people, because they have, and it's documented proof. So just that right there shuts the whole notion
Correct.
of being converts. But then the other thing that he pointed out was the fact that they were trying to get them to convert over to their branding of Judaism that they created,
Correct.
their understanding of Torah, which is also Talmudism,
Mm-hmm.
and they rejected that.
Yep.
They rejected the monies, they rejected all the things because they stood their ground and saying, we're not going to do that. Why? Because it's already been proven by Tudor Parfit that they were accurately keeping Torah better than any other people that they came across. In that they didn't mix and mingle, which caused them to have what? A higher, percentage, because they didn't do a lot of mixing and mingle with others outside the nation. So those are two key points right there. So I'm at this point right now, and this is where we have to understand King David, because I love King David, because I see a lot of myself through King David's example in terms of um, I will fight. I used to fight in a heartbeat, and don't get me wrong, I can still go there if I need to.
Yep.
But reading King David's story, his life, it was one situation, and that's what really changed my approach to a lot of things. That, hey, you know what? Yes, I may be able to go there for us fighting and getting in people's face, but you know what? Sometimes you have to learn how to just say, you know what? There's a different way of fighting by just what? Keeping quiet, right? Just keep it quiet and focus on the more weightier matters, right? So King David, when he was fleeing Jerusalem, because Absalom, his son, was trying to kill him, and literally had him in a very vulnerable position. So David left with his family, his soldiers, and their families. So they're fleeing. So not Call, but Saul's crazy cousin. Every family always had that crazy cousin that really don't know the business, and they just assuming. So Saul's crazy cousin assumed that David was the one that killed King Saul.
Yes.
Didn't have the story correct. So what he began to do was insult King David, spit at King David, threw rocks at King David, to the point that King David's soldiers said, look, let me chop this is a dead dog. Let me chop this dead dog head off right now. And
Mm-hmm.
David said, no, let him talk. He said, maybe I deserve to go through what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
David had to use wisdom. Why? Because he had families with him. It wasn't just the soldiers. So he didn't engage him. Now, David was a man of war, but in this particular instance, he decided to what? Take the higher road and let him talk. David said, let him talk. And so right now we're at a position now, let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything else to discuss outside of us.
Correct. Their whole platform.
Now, if you go on your channel, if you go to Pastor Major's channel, if you go to my channel, the discussion about them is not even 5%, if it's even that, of what I teach. And yet, guess what? I think we're doing very well for ourselves with the people coming back to view what we have to say.
Correct.
And I'm not saying this from bragging or nothing like that, but we're getting well over 100 to 200 people on any given day.
Correct.
So the issue is the fact that many of them just don't want to admit that they are wrong. That's the pride. King Saul did not want to admit that he was wrong. He wanted to pass the bucket to everyone else. David humbled himself when he realized he was wrong and went into prayer. So that's the difference right there. So what you see what's happening right now, that's what's going on right now. And mark my word, as we see today, or I've been seeing over the past few weeks, the sudden shift, the Most High is going to pass judgment on each and every one of them. Why? Because we took the high road. There's no reason why that warrant this ugliness, like the Sister Cherry, whatever her name is. I've never had any engagement with her. She can't even say I even mentioned her name one time. And yet when I get wind that she mentions my name, she's mocking me, saying I'm not a pastor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first time we had any interaction with Abu and those guys they make a video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then expect me to respond to a video about my own heritage,
Yeah.
about something I can tell you more about the area
Correct.
than any other person, because as far as the inner workings, the behind the scenes stuff at that assembly, because that's my family heritage.
Yeah.
But not trying to get into all of that, but we don't have to entertain that stuff.
Correct.
Why? Because the DNA, the very thing that they was telling us at one time, oh, where's your DNA? Well, guess what? You sent a major hole in their whole approach, because why? You revealed your DNA on Brother Berean, and they did not expect your results to come out the way it did.
Correct.
They did not expect none of our results to come out the way that it did. See, before then, they were saying, hey, give me, what's your history? What's your family history? And then when I shared my family history, all of a sudden, where's your DNA? What's your DNA? Okay, now I wasn't showing Jed Match. I was showing a couple of other DNA results saying that it didn't say that I was Hebrew. It said I was Jewish, right? But then when Jed Match came about, I didn't even realize. Remember, you brought it to my attention. I didn't even realize that projects or anything, because I didn't go through all of that. I just confirmed some of my family members through there. But every time they tried to use something against us, it got flipped around to make them look bad.
Correct.
Why? Because there's no ulterior motives to anything that we've done and been operating in. You're a professional person in terms of from education to what you do for a living. Likewise, on this end, when I see behaviors like this, I can tell you that they lack professionalism, because the way that they're acting, I know for sure they're not acting this way at their jobs. Because if they did, they would be fired.
Correct.
So my old pastor said this, Dr. Ted T.H. Huey, he said, the church is the only place people come and act crazy.
Correct.
They won't act crazy at the courts. They won't act crazy in the at their jobs. They won't act crazy at the hospital. They only come to the place of worship among the people that should know better and act crazy. Correct. So I know I'm being a little long-winded, but I just want to say that to you, sis, that let them talk. That's where I'm at right now. Let them talk.
Oh, yeah.
And the more that we're letting them talk, they're making themselves look foolish. They're saying that they know Christ and have a relationship with Christ. But guess what? If we, let's just say, if we were hypothetically in error and they was really concerned, the scripture says, go to your brother personal, one-on-one.
Correct.
It doesn't say go and put them on blast publicly and then expect them to want to talk to you. No, it says go to them one-on-one. If you have an alt with your brother, leave that. Don't even worry about the offering. Leave that. Go make it right with that person. Deal with them one-on-one. Now, show me one instance where these guys tried to come to us one-on-one offline and say, hey, you know what? Let's talk about this. Hey, Pastor Kelly, I heard you teaching this, or Sister E, I heard you teaching this, and I have some questions on it, but let me reach out to you offline and let's talk about it and see, and then if it's not solved, then if it's an issue, they're not going to understand taking it beyond that, but not doing it in the manner that they've done. Are doing it. So let them talk, because sis, guess what? Your channel is growing. People are listening. And guess what? Your primary focus of your conversation is not them.
Correct.
As long as we keep them in the conversation, that means that they're on the channel and it's helping others to go to their channels.
Correct. I agree. And today I just want to do that because one, it kind of.
Hey sis, can I say something real quick? Blacktastic, I really appreciate you. and I'll talk. We'll get together offline. But I appreciate you for standing the ground and really standing in the gap in the area that I'm not even part of, and you know what I'm talking about. So I really appreciate you for what you've done. And actually, absolutely, Yakoba, peace and blessings to you. Great job yesterday. They don't even look at us as being brothers and sisters.
Yep.
And but they quick to say that we all one through Abraham's seed. We all, Abraham. Paul said there's no Jew and Gentile, but they don't line up with what they're saying.
Correct.
But anyway, I'm sorry, sis, for cutting you off.
No, because the thing is, I'm glad that you came on here because, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, this was amazing. And Cohen didn't have to do it. And what people don't realize, we knew him before we had this conversation.
That's right.
Echo. I'm gonna have to get me a mic. My mic is messed up, so I'm getting it fixed. So if I have an echo, y'all let me know. But we knew him even before that conversation. We had already started having dialogue with him. So this isn't new. This isn't something that we hadn't already done our due diligence and researched and dealt with, and interacted it with him on. So that was my whole thing when I was like, yep, I'm gonna say something. And plus I wanted to play the video that you and Majors did. I wanna so y'all hear echo? Why am I wow.
Are you using your the mic on your computer?
No, I got it right here. I'm gonna have to get this little piece fixed on it.
Yeah, so, what you may want to do in the interim until you're able to do that, get you some wireless, like you see the headset I have here. It even though they cheap, but it still would serve the purpose, so that way it eliminates the echo. So that's what I'm using. I'm not even using my regular mic right now, but it still give you a certain quality for us in terms of your voice. So I would say until you get your mic fixed, you may want to use one of these, so that way your voice is not breaking up or it's not echoey. But okay. It's not really bad as what you may think it sounds. It sounds okay to me.
I hear feedback for myself. I was just looking at my inputs and my setup. My mic is internal. Okay. All right, I'll start back. Actually, I'm gonna just go buy me a little standby mic until I get until I get me a get this fixed. I got someone in.
You grab you one of these for, even though I got this is my backup ones because I left my other ones at work. But you can get you a pair of these for like $7 to $8, and the quality, because these are for your phone, so the mic is going to be very sensitive, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to compress your voice anyway. So you can get you a pair of these, and guess what? It'll serve the purpose until you get replace your mic.
Okay.
Remember, I'm a geek. I'm a techie. Also, remember, I was in the music industry, engineering, and all that stuff. So I know how to, get the best out of the sounds.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not, and the thing is, I don't want to give them that. I'm not by no means upset, but I did want to address it and let her know nobody's scared of her, because we're not inviting you to our platform. Don't mean that you can that you know anything. No, we don't invite you because one, your behavior is horrible. You have no chill, and I'm gonna say it in that way. You're uncouth. That's why she doesn't get invited. People with good sense, like for instance, we brought Mike Calloway now, even though Mike got irritated by us, but we invited him, and we've opened the door to many of them. But she, on the other hand, no chill at all, period. No class. And her saying what she said and the rest of them saying what they said about Cohen Amadishi, it was like, wow, y'all just, the things that we're actually doing our due diligence. We're researching it. We're trying to make sure what we're saying is right. But instead of just sitting back and watching and saying, wait a minute, let's check and make sure, they come with more lies on top of lies on top of lies. It's ridiculous. But I also, like I said, I wanted to play the thing with what Majors did. So let me see. I wanted to play this real quick. Because he got an email from
Jed Madge, yeah.
And I wanted to play that. Let me see.
Now,
You know his voice.
Let's get into this.
Okay, now, I'm trying to pause for a minute. He loud. But I wanted to play it because I wanted to make sure everybody got a chance to see this.
Yeah, and you know, for those that don't really don't know who that is, that's Pastor Majors with Boom, which is my cousin. He's Moray at Boom Church. And Sister, I think, or you already got it set lined up.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you on his page? So he loaded just the portion about. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Here we go.
Let's get into this because I sent my DNA results. I emailed, as you see on the screen, I emailed JetMatch yesterday at 3:17 p.m. Of course, because many of us email, you know, that's why I say we not the camps, man. I don't know who they think they be messing with. You know, you throw a claim out there, you say something, we go to the source. Okay?
That's right.
We're not finna play around with these folks. All right. So let's send an email. All right. And I ain't hiding where I sent it. I put this right there on the screen. Okay. It say, greetings. I uploaded my raw DNA report to GEDmatch, and I used the MDLP Word 22 and received these results below. I was told by someone that these results aren't accurate. Can you confirm that these results are correct? Thank you in advance. So I sent this. I sent my kit number. I sent all of that straight to Jetman or Verigen, who purchased JetMatch. I say, okay, well, let's see what they got to say. And to my surprise, yesterday at 4:31 p.m. Now I emailed them at 3:17 p.m. So a little more over, an hour and a half. They responded back.
They were like, they were watching.
Like, what? Like, hold on, no. So if the sister is telling the truth, what did JetMatch have to say? JetMatch say, hello, Will. I cannot comment on why others would say your results are inaccurate. The results look correct, and there are no problems with either of your DNA kits.
Because I got to put a 3-piece in here. Can I put a 3-piece in here? Let me put a 3-piece in here. Let me put a couple of blows in here.
Oh.
So y'all got y'all 3-piece. I just wanted to say that. Y'all been asking for y'all 3-piece and y'all finally got it for my channel. He gonna make some for me as well. So here we go.
Oh,
wow.
So what was JetMatch have to say? I mean, look what it says. The results look correct. Let me say that again. The results that you are a limber all the way down to the 20th nation population that we ran against you, the results look correct. And there are no problems with either of your kits. Why? Because I got 2 DNA kits that they ran to make sure, that was correct. Given that your heritage, what is it called? Your what? Your what?
Oh man, wait a minute. That doesn't matter. They're gonna make a video off of it. Because they said heritage doesn't matter,
Given that your heritage appears to be based around ethnic groups from Africa. Aren't the limber in Africa? Absolutely. I would recommend, listen what they say, recommend. See, they say they would recommend using the ethohelix, which she said that on her interview that she was doing on that on that other show. But what she wanted to do was her slick self. She wanted to control where we looked.
Exactly.
That's just so trying to be so slick. No, they shouldn't be looking at MDLP world. We don't need them running the world population. No, they can only look at Ethiohelix, Africa, K10. That's what she said. K10.
Wow.
You know why she wants to look at K10? Just like MDLP K16, it only focuses on the 16 that they decide to choose to run your comparison against. Mm-hmm. So guess what? She wants us to run it on 10. So now they're only going to use 10 particular ethnic groups. And they tell you the 10 in the area that they focus on, which is the West Africa and Northeast Africa. East Africa. So I had to do my due diligence. I say, okay, I want to make sure, that I understand this here, because it's just a recommendation. It doesn't mean that you gotta do it. They've already solidified that the results are correct. So I said, let me try to get somebody, because, let's just make sure, because they, told me which. So I said, hey, what's going on there? I got this email and it was saying that, recommendation for Ethiohelix, K10 Africa. Can you give me a little background about the designer? What was the purpose of why they created the K10 and whatnot? I'm just trying to get an understanding. I got my DNA results and I just want to make sure that I, do my due diligence and make sure I pass this down, to the family. Yeah, sure. Well, the reason why we use the Ethiohelix K10 and it's only focused on key areas such as East Africa and West Africa is because it's kind of more focused in on the slave trade, and what happened during the time of most of the slaves and were taken from East Africa and West Africa. And so we did a lot of testing in those areas. And so when the creator created the program for this population, it was taken from that. So it gives you a more detailed result of the tribes based in the East and the West Africa area. I say, kind of like how, Ancestry does with their population and migration and haplogroups and stuff. They say, yeah, it's kind of like that. So that's the reason why. Now, she wants us to stick to Ethiohelix K10, but we don't have to. You know why we don't have to? Because GEDmatch said we don't. We don't have to based on what you say, Salam, and anybody else. No, GEDmatch already confirmed that our results are correct, and we don't have no problem with using MDLP worldwide.
Now, what's interesting is this, and me and you talked about this. Certain kits have certain particular.
So you need a logo. The obvious choice is.
Let me close this down. Okay, so it has certain kits. Certain kits have certain projects use certain tribes. And one of the things that we found was the tribes that they use, and I'm trying to see, is there a way that I can, let me download it.
Well, while you're doing that, because I was going to, if you don't mind, I want to explain to them the people a little bit more about data and programming, because Yakoba, he's a programmer, Dante, a programmer, you're a techie, a programmer. I did both programming and database engineering and architectural, from Oracle to SQL, you name it. So basically, when we really understand it, Yacoba did a great job on Brother Beran as well when he went into some of it. When you understand this, like many of you guys have seen on web pages, you see a drop down box, right? That information in that drop down box, or what is called the radio buttons or check buttons, but that drop down box, and you have those selections there. Those selections are not manually put there. They are pulled from a database, right? It connects to a database by what is called the data string, right? And so with that, you already have what is called parameters that's already preset that the person, right, that's accessing those fields or those objects cannot manipulate. So when you download your raw results and you upload it into GEDmatch, what's happening is your data is imported into their database. And then whatever parameters that they set, so you cannot go into taking your raw report. If you open up your raw report, it'll look like you watching the screen on the Matrix. You'll see all these funny characters that would not make any sense to you, right? Why? Because that's not in the format that's recognizable on any of the tools that we have. So we could not, even if we wanted to, try to insert something there. So what happens is when it's uploaded to their system, it goes into their database. Now they have their applications, their tools, based on whatever parameters, it's going to make available certain projects in that drop down. Now, to some, as Pastor Majors shared inside, Pastor William Brown or Moray Brown shared inside the video that it was someone else that did the test, and he had like 13 or 14 options to select from, versus myself, and I think you, Sister E, as well, as he only had like 5 or 6 options. Why? Because those things are actually pre-populated based upon what you upload. So whatever populates in that checklist is based off of your information, based upon the template that they placed or that they created. So none of us can manipulate any data. So all the projects that's listed there is the projects that's supposed to list, that's supposed to come up and populate. So there's no error. No matter what we clicked on, it's still projects that's specifically for our data that we uploaded. Right. So, and I think Sister, did we have the same ones, or did you have one extra one that I had?
I think me and you had the same ones, because you remember yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Going through each one of them, and certain tribes. Let me show y'all something. Each project has a how can I say certain
set of selections.
Certain data sets that they are testing against. So in one particular one, like Helix, has a certain set of tribes that they have already imported into that project. So when I put my data in, it's going to test against those tribes only. Limba is not on that list in Helix. Other tribes are. So what it's going to do is say, okay, if you want to test this particular project, these are the data sets that it's going to test against. And Limba is in this data set. But when you go over to this table, because we're talking about tables now, you're going to go here and it's going to test against these data sets. It's just going to test yours against theirs. So that's why each project gives you different results, because it's testing against different tables, pretty much. And the crazy thing is, if you understood IT, you would understand what we're saying. But the thing is, you don't have to be a geneticist to understand database management or analysis. You have
to.
That's just basic. That's what we first learned with our first year.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Queries. Queries is the first thing you learn. You search for something and it gives you what it has. The system will never go beyond what it has in it. So
and the key term is relational. So you have relational database, right? So you're relating, when you're dealing with tables, like you just pointed out, tables, views, because actually I'm pretty confident they have views, so that way no one can actually modify any of the data, because the views is read only. So we can't modify anything but upload our results. We can't modify anything. Only thing we can do when we select those projects is that's actually queries, you know what I mean? That's going out to the database and say, pull this information back. So you're absolutely, Sista. And you know, I know they probably like, man, they're just going geek mode on us right now.
Yeah.
But it's just for the purpose of just showing that we know what we're talking about. We cannot go into their system and modify their system. If so, the FBI wouldn't use them.
Correct. I'm trying to find the video. Let me see.
Which video?
I'm trying to show. Okay, so here it is. There you go. So Ethiohelix. This is Ethiohelix right here. This is every tribe that it validates against. Limba is nowhere on here. So this is why, and Benaiah sent me this. I want to say thanks to him, because he found this. And he said, this is what Ethiohelix test against. These are the data sets. You got East Africa. It's a lot of East African in here. It's a little bit of West African in here. And you got Central Africa. And the interesting thing is, I got a lot of hits based off of Central Africa. Now, keep in mind, all of these particular tribes within this particular, I guess this search criteria, these are the things that it's going to test against. Limba's not there. Limba's totally not there. So guess what? Limba's not going to come back and have test results for Ethiohelix because it's not there. It's not there. So that's why they don't want us to do MDLP, because guess what? If you do MDLP, Limba's there. But if you do Ethiohelix, Limba's not on the list. So with that being said, family, y'all see what we're talking about? You see what we deal with. You see what we deal with. And I'm glad that Benaiah sent me this, because when he sent me this, he said, Sister, this is what they're searching against with Ethiohelix. So,
and also to the point of what what the elder pointed out, you know, what he said too, that was really great. He made it clear that there were Limbas on that slave ships. There was Limbas on that slave ship. Contrary to what people try to say, that there was no Hebrews on the slave ship, even though we all debunked that from using sources and proven from literature that was written by the people that enslaved us, confirming. We can confirm that there's Hebrews that was on those slave ships, whether they spoke the language or not. We can see that even through the slave database. And I've combed that slave database, not just looking for the name. Yeah, and I shared some of that with you, Sister. But the problem is, you know, when you're dealing with certain people, they're set in their ways. And sometimes you got to do just like the Hebrew Israelite Messiah did with the rich young ruler. Let them walk. Don't chase behind them. Let they go their separate ways, because they already made it a point that they're not going to believe anything. They're not going to believe the truth. With what Moray Brown laid out, how can you go against it? And it's coming directly from the people, you know, and then they're willing to go and connect with someone that's in the conscious community that don't even believe in the scriptures. You know, so that tells you.
Boom is in. Majors, you're welcome to come in here. I know you probably at work, but you're more than welcome. So let us know if you want to come in here real quick. Because I just decided to do this just about an hour ago, because I was like, enough is enough. All gloves out. But
remember when we did our test yesterday, the numbers it went down even more. Mine went from 10 to now it's like 9 point something. You know what I mean? But the key is, you know, like we said, sis, the Most High is confirming everything, no matter what is presented. He is making sure that whatever, like they throw around in the church all the time, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around for our good. You know what I mean? Dealing with Joseph. But come on now, every time they try to say something or put a stumbling block, it wasn't us. It was the Most High that took care of it. You know, so that's why that's why I say let them talk. You know, they can't do anything. They're not paying our bills.
Yep. And what's so crazy is when we did, and keep in mind, everybody, let me remind some of y'all who don't work in IT, just in case they try to pull a fast one on you. Understand that each project has its own data points that it's testing against. What might be an MDLP may not be what's in, we know it's not in Ethiohelix. What's in Ethiohelix may not be in, what's it called, Jed Rosa?
Yeah, Jed Rosa, yeah.
I went into Jed Rosa and looked at the ancient, what is it, Eurasian?
Yeah.
I was getting ancient Ethiopian, though. It's called the Mota.
Yeah, Mata.
Yeah. It was showing as almost like a 7. So I'm more East African than I am anything. And then, not to mention, as you start going down the list on it, you start seeing Moroccan, Yemen, all these, for some reason, every single time. What you laughing at?
Look what your Convo pointed. I'm just laughing. He said, "UA is like the Oswald Bates in Living Color."
I have to talk to him today too. Oh my goodness! But what's so, like I said, you start looking at that. It pointed even more to the east part, further east, when it showed it showed back again. I don't know why Yemen keep popping up. And you are really over here cracking up.
Because Rabbi put in there Glass Joe for I don't even want to say his name, but he put a vocab as Glass Joe. I'm like, y'all stop cutting up, man. Let's keep things respectable, you know.
They tired. Because the thing is, we work.
I know. Huh? I'm sorry, Sista.
Do you realize how much work we put in? We're not really working hard, but we're actually putting in the due diligence. I mean, we pulled up the Ethiohelix.
We pulled up every last one of them. We went through each one of them.
He was tired. By the time we got done, I could hear him about to fall asleep in the phone. I was laughing. But we went and we looked at what's the other thing? When I did Ethiohelix,
because it was an Ethio French.
The French.
And it was one more. What was the other one? It was French, Asian. And there was one more.
It was Palestinian.
Palestinian, okay.
What's so funny is Palestinians showed up in my results. I said, what is this? All types of stuff showed up in their result. Palestinians showed up. I did the Ethiohelix, and we did all of them because what the lady, yes, Boom said Palestinians showed up high on his as well.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, right across the board.
When we looked at the YouTube, and like I said, Boom, you're welcome to come in here. But when I looked at the YouTube and I had pinged Moray Brown, Moray Majors. You know, I'm stumbling over that. But he even said that, you know, because I said, I'm gonna look at this video and I'm gonna play. He says, I already played that video. What do you and I said, okay, I must not have seen the whole video you and Kelly did, Pastor Kelly did. So in it, the lady in the YouTube said, play with all of them because you're gonna get different results, but the results, it's nothing wrong with going in and playing with each project because it's going to give you the projects that closely match your DNA. Everybody don't have the same projects. And I didn't know that until here recently. But I mean, these people are just like, I'm like, wow. So we did.
But it's still confirmed, you know, no matter what projects you use, it's still confirmed, you know, because when we start looking at the term Bantu, it's not just the Limbas, right? You have the Ethiopians. And when we start looking at, remember, when we start looking at some of those tribes listed there, they were pointing to Cameroon. They were pointing to Nigeria, you know, so when we start looking at it, it's all still relatable. And so, you know, to that point, no matter what you went, no matter what project you went to, it's still confirming, you know, the overall results that we know that we're Israelites. And the only thing it's confirming too is the other thing it's confirming is some of the things that our ancestors had to go through, the migration patterns and all of those different things that, you know, so yeah.
What's so funny is that one thing that did pop up. I said, wait a minute, how did this slip through the cracks? And Ashkenaz, I said, wait, hold on. But it was Low Saint. Don't be trying to make no videos. Sister E is not Ashkenaz. But I mean, but you got to think about it. It had to have been someone in that population that had intermingled with someone from our community that caused that to pop up, because it was very low.
But guess where it was listed at? It was listed under Europe.
Mm-hmm. It was the J test.
Yeah, it was the J test. And under the J test, it was listing Europe.
Yeah.
And even though it was like, I think mine was like 0.145, you know what I mean? Or with the Ashkenaz or whatever, but even then it's still further confirmed and going right back to the point about rabbi, because it should happen that way. The reason why I'm saying that is if you understand data, if they really grab hold of it, the Ashkenazis were what, 1.25,
Yep.
right? But ours is the reverse. As Rabbi said, every time they did a test, it increased.
Correct.
No matter how they tried to torque that test, it kept increasing. And they didn't give them back their last results. They still holding on to it. And that's the troublesome part of it. But still, what happened to the Ashkenazis, ours is reverse. And it's almost the same, but in reverse.
Yep. That was so interesting. And I saw a lot of, for me, and I don't know if you saw it. I think you did see it. I saw a lot of Morocco. A lot of Morocco showed up. And I saw, like I said, the Igbo and the Yoruba. What's so interesting is it wasn't at the very top of the list on any of my results. If anything, it was towards the middle. But the thing is, what's so interesting, I kept seeing East Africa, Middle East, South African, meaning the tribes that are, some of the tribes that inhabited that area. It was like a multitude of different things. But the thing is, y'all, they're trying to put fear into people to say only do these things. No, there's nothing wrong with looking at all those projects. Whatever project you have, go there, look at it.
Yeah.
I had one to pop up. I said, now I know I'm not Ukrainian. Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, even then, like, it's going to show you, even if it's less than a percentage, because some of those were like I said, 0.1 or 0.0 whatever. It's, whatever project is going to show you whatever, depending on whatever project you select. So, again, but the sad thing about it is they give this impression that we are changing the numbers.
Yep.
We're fudging the results. Like we just hacked into the database and fudged the results.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's impossible for someone to do that, but you have to go, once you hack let's just say you successfully hacked in, what are you going to do with the information that you cannot read?
Correct. And there were some other tribes on there, because I saw something called Hasda that showed up on my report. And when you look them up, they migrated over. They were considered to be Arabs, and they migrated over into West Africa. Everybody, all Black people wasn't all on just West Africa. Can't hold that many Black people. First, let's let that be known. There are migration points in every single tribe a lot of the tribes that I looked at, majority. What's up, Benaiah? He's in here. But every majority of the tribes I looked up, it referred to the Bantu expansion. And I was, wow, even one tribe I saw, and I forgot the tribe, but it pulled up what their haplotypes were, where people were finding. There were a lot of them, and I think it was
because I can't remember one of them we saw, the E1B1. I can't remember which one it was.
E1B1A came up.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was like, wow. So I mean, these things are coming up. And there's, again, the system will only give you what you can, what you have. It's never going to go beyond the point of what it's capable of doing. So,
and when you pay attention to remember, when you look at each project, it's not done by the same person.
Correct.
Right? You have a developer, because I noticed that under each individual selection, and when you go into there's a developer and someone that's basically, I'm pretty confident, is probably the lead over that or the PM over that particular project. Because if you notice, it's a different contact for each project that populated.
Yep. And it's going to always tell you. And the thing is, even some of with the Ethiohelix, I think African only, you have to have pretty much strong African DNA where you don't really have any mixtures. And it's kind of, it's something that, it brought out. And I said, okay, that's understandable. But even then, with us coming over here, MDLP was also a good point. It said that's the best starting point. It's the best starting point because it's like a whole bunch of stuff in that one particular database where it's just checking everything from the Eurasian to the European to the African it's like a bunch of them. And it validates what you match with the closest. So I mean, that's why I'm just like, these people right here. It's like we're not denying our African heritage because Israel was attached to Africa.
Absolutely. And that's the part that they don't want to hear. Correct. That, up until 1910 or whatever, Israel was Northeast Africa, Africa, which they call the Middle East, was actually considered Africa. No matter how they look at it, that's why that man-made canal was designed purposely to try to separate that portion of the area, Africa, away from Africa itself. But we know Africa extended beyond that, So again, certain people, no matter what you say, they're gonna do and believe what they want to believe. That old saying, it's a difference of dealing with someone that has a disagreement with you versus someone that's just a disagreeable person.
Correct.
And they are just being disagreeable at no matter what. I think if we just flip the script and said that we're Caucasians, then they'll start telling us who we really are.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So like I said, where we at right now, no matter what angle, the proof is there.
Yeah.
There's no denying.
Correct. And it's so obvious. It's so obvious in everything that we've been researching. The things that, unlike them, we're actually going to look. We're not going to just find an article. We're actually trying to look and figure out where we stand. I was going to say something else because I was going to say something about a location that we saw. Oh, when people say, like, for instance, when you do the DNA test, like with 23andMe, it gives you the region. It doesn't give you really the tribe.
That's right.
Nigeria. So when they say Nigerian, that's like calling somebody Tennessean or Virginian. That's what we are.
Yeah.
So when they say, oh, you're Nigerian, Nigeria is a country within a continent with a multitude of different people and cultures within that continent. Within the country.
And to your point, Ancestry is doing a lot of changing, not just subtle change. They're making major changes to how your data populates. Your raw data is your raw data, but they have come up with their own set of parameters and to bring forth certain results. And I have screen prints of when I initially did my Ancestry results 4 or 5 years ago. It had Ghana at 49%. Yep. Now Ghana is at 5%.
Yep.
So where I'm getting at is the raw results is the raw results. That's what GEDmatch. The good thing about GEDmatch, you get more of a detailed output of what you see populated in the other DNA groups, or tools that you use. GEDmatch Match give you far more to go off of.
Yep. And to say that the African people were not Israel or not Israelites, it's just like saying they only believed in African spiritualism. They have different types of people, different cultures, different belief systems. And what's so sad is if I was white and I did my DNA and I found out I was Jewish, everybody would just be like, oh, that's great. But because my black face and your black face And Major's blackface, Teo, Dante, Black Tusk, everybody's blackface is saying that they're Israel. Oh, we need to double check. Because if you look out on YouTube, people who do MDLP, it's a different types of people. From white people to black people, from Asian people, from Indian people, from Spanish people. It's all because that's that one stop shop. So that just in case you didn't understand the system, you go there and look. But again, if I was Caucasian or white and said I was Jewish, everybody would be ready to throw me, what they call it, a mitzvah. They'll be ready to throw me what's some of the things that they do? I don't even know what their ceremonies. Is that right?
What's that?
What type
I'm just looking at the chat here. I'm laughing at some of the.
What's the events that they have when they find out you're Jewish? Is it mitzvah something?
They have the bat and the bat mitzvah, the bar mitzvah, the bar for the son, the bat for the daughter.
Bat mitzvah, and they'd be ready to throw me a bat mitzvah if I said I was Jewish and I was white. But a black person saying they Israelites, they ready to hang you on the cross. I hate to say it, but that's neither here nor there. That's just the community we're in. But I just want to let everybody know: keep looking, keep searching, keep digging. Don't let nobody tell you not to dig. Don't let nobody tell you where not to go, because it's obvious that somebody is being real. And I wanted to let y'all see what was in ethohelix. And because they tried to say, if you do ethohelix, limba's not going to come up because limba is not inside of that particular search requirement. Limba's is all in MDLP. So other things are going to look different as you look at each project. Each project is but it's going to always give you what connects with you. It'll never give you anything outside of what you match with. So, So I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. What is going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, what more could we do? I mean, next they're going to see, tell us that we're going to have to, go back in time, you know what I mean? Create a time machine. I don't know. I mean, it's just, it just gets to a point that it's a waste of time. It's a waste of breath. You know what I mean? It's like, what else? Yeah. I mean, what else? We're not even discussing doctrine.
Oh, wow. That's what's crazy.
It's not even dealing with doctrine. Mm-hmm. It's not dealing with any of that. It's dealing with them trying to tell us who we are.
Correct.
And that's where I have the problem with. That's why I'm at a point now, like, look, we don't have to prove ourselves to no one, but we're not dealing with doctrine. We're just strictly dealing with them making up lies about everything, every single thing. They tried to twist it to make it into we're lying about something. Yeah. And I mean, every little thing, think about it. The pews, the DNA, we could go right down the list. Everything they tried to twist it to make it into a lie that we could completely prove.
Hey, is this cherry chicken flavored honey barbecue? Who is this? Can you please tell me who you really are? I think because I'm hearing somebody saying that they think it's cherry. Who is that in the chat? I know that's not. I know.
No, yeah, I don't think she'd be that.
I don't want her to say who it is, so we can make something clear. Because I think I hear that somebody said she said it's her, and I know that's not her. I know who the person is.
Yeah, So let's stop giving her some airtime. I don't want to give her no more airtime. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even want to give her no airtime. I mean,
so I have to give her the blues.
Because that's. In their minds, hey, as long as you keep talking about them, they feel like they still, have reverence in our conversations. They're not. Nah, let's leave them alone. Yeah, they're not reveling anymore.
Thank you, Tia Ya. There's Tia Ya in the chat. Thank you. All right. So, I'm not giving her. That's all we did was add one more viewer to our viewer list of 5. So that was kind of mean, but I had to say it. But you're supposed to say, Sister, that's not nice. What?
I just looked at my drawer here and saw one of my old phones. Remember this, y'all? Let me see if I can tell you right. Let me see if I can put it up to the screen. That's why I found one of my old phones in my drawer.
They make them like I don't even charge it up and see will it work.
I gotta find the charger, man. Oh my gosh, this is the model after the two-way ones because
Yeah.
I had the very first one. I just opened up my drawer right now and just saw it here.
I remember
Wow.
my daughter's first. No, my daughter's first phone wasn't it. It was the Sidekick. You remember the Sidekick?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was ready to take it from her, but she kept it. I gave it to her. But
That's funny.
it's cool.
Yeah, but like I said, sis, we don't, we did everything we can possibly do, and it's just one of those things. Like the Most High said, if they don't believe this sign, if they don't believe these signs, then like what He did in the captivity, far as with the Egyptian captivity. But now Israel got me laughing. He said, "You were balling, Pastor Kelly." Yeah, man, you funny, but now I see what you're doing. Benaya, great presentation over the weekend. I saw the video. Great presentation.
I was excited to actually.
It was great presentation, and I'm telling you, man, Benaya really laid it out, man. You can't even say anything towards where we are in this the Inquisition, man. He just really broke that thing down, the Spanish Inquisition, and I really appreciate his efforts with that. I mean, you really did a great job with that, Benai.
Yeah, he did. I want to bring him on. Yeah, Benai said he'll come on. I just gotta schedule it. So I'm gonna bring him on. We're gonna all kind of talk about Spanish Inquisition. And I didn't know he was as tall as he is. When I met him on Saturday for the first time, I was like,
yeah. Benai, I think Benai got to be about 6'3".
Man, anybody's taller than me.
6'3", 6'4".
I'm 5'2". Anybody's taller than me. So, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you was like 4'8". I'm just joking with you.
I'm not bothered about Pastor Kelly, but it was an amazing weekend. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Shout outs to Seventh Day Harvest. It was, great conference that they put together. I mean, just the worship, just their spirit and everything. They're just really good people. I mean, we enjoyed ourselves. We really enjoyed ourselves down there. My wife, my daughter. I mean, I didn't even know my daughter actually sang. I was like, she sang. So, but it was great. It was great.
Yeah,
that's daughter, right.
I said my daughter, she was laughing because Benaiah was talking about. He said, "Are you trying to learn how to drive?" And she said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know how to parallel park?" She was like, "I said she don't even know how to pull out the driveway correctly, so we're not finna do that right now."
Yeah.
But it was amazing because you got to see the people interact with each other, and it wasn't just about the channels. It was just genuinely coming together and getting to know each other, and that's what I liked. I really enjoyed that. I already know you, so it wasn't like it was just meeting you, but it was cool. I enjoyed myself. But Benaiah is tall.
Yeah, Benaiah. But I'm gonna tell you that guy that was I can't remember his name. He made Benaiah look short. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, Benaiah is tall. He made Benaiah look short. What's that guy? I can't remember the guy with the afro, the real tall guy that was talking to me on Friday.
And I didn't know one of the people that had been following me. I had a full conversation with him. Laughed. He said, "I've been following your channel," and didn't tell me, right here, contending for the faith. I didn't know that it was the guy in the all blue that was sitting like over to the side, him and his wife. Didn't know that was him. Had a full conversation with him the whole time. And I know. And I said, you know what? If I would have known it was you, I would have said something because he's always active in our chats, very active in the chats. So.
Oh my goodness.
What? Why are you doing
This is my other one. This is my older one. This is the.
Oh, what? I used to like this type of phones though.
Oh my goodness. I haven't opened up this drawer. Look at this, guys.
Oh wow.
Now I'm probably going to find my Nokia one. Remember the original Nokios?
That's the one.
That the indestructible ones?
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
just going through my desk. I haven't sat in this, I mean, been through these drawers in a while.
you find it all.
Wow. I'm finding gadgets.
I'm not.
Man.
Mm-mm.
There
I ain't got none of my old stuff. Everything I have is
it is. There it is. The lean. There it is. The lean.
I hadn't seen that in so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the faith, you are good. I'm laughing at you though. I'm laughing, but I'll be back. I'm going back up to. I didn't know that they were part of both. I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said I was gonna go back up there. Later on, probably in February or so, to go out there and visit. I asked him, I said, "Are we gonna have another conference?" Because he had a really good conference. He really got.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good, and that's one of the things too that we are planning on for the upcoming year. We planning on doing something, a special conference. All of it, bringing all of us together. We're really working on that. So stay in tune with that. We'll announce it once we start. Getting down, like solidifying a place, a location, a time. And
Mhm.
also, guys, I really wanted to say this too, because I don't want to forget what Elder pointed out is the suppression, the financial depression that's on that area.
Yeah.
And one thing that he really said that really resonated, how the Jewish community, as far as the Ashkenazis, are pushing the Muslims
Yeah.
um, to really sell that belief system onto the members, to really convince them to convert over to Islam.
Yeah.
And so that's not something that's new. That's a playbook that the Catholics use. They're doing that there to try to further suppress our people down there. So we'll talk more about that, but we really want to do some things to where as though we can become more, how can I put it? We can help our people out in these areas. What disappoints me when I really think about it is when we start looking at these elections, whether it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden, our community donated $50+ million to both these candidates. But what have we done for our community? 50+ million dollars would do a lot for our community. $50 million. Matter of fact, if you do the research on Uganda, they lost their power company to China because they used it as collateral for a $30 million loan. And
Oh,
now China runs the entire, have ownership over the power company in Uganda. That's something the money we put into these candidates, we could put into communities that's over there, so that way they don't have that extra temptation to allow, for example, these people like the Ashkenaz come in
yeah.
and swoop in and take advantage of them. That's what they're doing. They coming in, swooping with money, so that way they can take the young men, like they pointed out, took young men from the limbers, because they confirmed that they were, who they are and connecting to the ancient people of the book. And now they're using them to build basically to build the third temple.
Yep.
So if you guys have a chance, go back and watch the video. There's a lot of nuggets that rabbis share that if you really listen to, including those that's from the apologetic community, they'll hear these nuggets that he shared. But if you listen to all these different rabbis that's now talking about the limbers, guess what? They are going in and they're bringing their doctrine to try to convert them to Judaism, to convert them to the Jewish community, where we don't have to convert to something that's already ours. Again, they have the shiny nickel, we have the dirty dime. So they want us to give up our dirty dime for their shiny nickel.
Correct.
And how are they doing that? Through deceptions, to make it appear that our shiny nickel has no value. So no matter how dirty that dime is and how shiny that nickel is and how big that nickel is, it will never be at the max, no more than half at the max of the value of the dirty dime.
Yep. But the key to that is that what stuck out to me is when he said they're recruiting them to go and build that temple. And when he said it, I said, wait, hold on. When we look at that prophecy, it says that the Levitical priesthood will go build the temple, the Levites. Why do they need them to build the temple if they're supposed to build the temple? And I was like, wow. And that's why yesterday when we were all doing what we did, I don't know, Berean had a all-day show. He had a cherry show. That's how long. He had different guests on the panel. And at the beginning of it, when I got on, I was like, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Let's talk about what happened on the show. That's what they want to hear. Let's talk about what he said. And he said that they're recruiting the Limba to go and help them. And the thing is, it's not like them, it's the younger ones, the younger Limbas, the younger men. And they're trying to keep them from going over there to do that. But yet and still, they're recruiting. You got to think about young guys. They figure out who they are. You give them a little money, let them know. They're going to go and do what they got to do. But it's not even, I don't want to even say it's their fault. But I'm sorry, I said Kohanim. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
But it's not even it's not even their fault. They're recruiting them and trying to get them to go over there. So, but it's interesting. It's wonderful little, like you said, nuggets that when he said it, it kind of threw all of us off. We wasn't expecting for that to quite come out.
Yeah. And what about the pork? Saying that they were trying to get them to eat pork. Mm-hmm. And many of you guys don't know with this whole kosher label, that's one of the biggest hustles. Kosher. Mm-hmm. Kosher is a Yiddish word, right? The word for holy is quadash. But if you really, they literally have pork considered to be kosher. Mm-hmm. They say that if the pig is like cloned, then it's clean. Yep. All kinds of crazy stuff, and the elder said that they were trying to get their people to eat pork.
Wow.
I'm like, the very things that we know go against the Most High. So everything that you could think of, they were trying to get them to do the very thing that would taint them.
Yep. Yep. I'm tired of wearing glasses. It's getting old. I can't really see, but it's making my face hurt. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And I plan to have him back on. I know that the Orthodox Moore has reached out to him, and I think he's going to be on his channel. But we're going to bring him back on because I do want him to come back and kind of talk to us on a few other things about, how they do the feast days, different things like that. So it'll be an interesting conversation. But I was like, wow, y'all just going to go and just ignore everything he said and just going to add your own stuff to it.
Yeah.
But Yacoba and Dante ripped through G-Con and Alton.
Oh man, the drop the mic moment was when Yacoba asked him, who was the covenant given to, the new covenant is given to. And when that person said the church, it was like, oh my goodness. It was like Minister Society, you messed up, right? You said no, you messed up, right? But I said, no, you messed up, right? You know what I mean? It was like, when you saw that, it's like, oh my goodness, he walked right into that. And once he said that, it was like, yep. It was like downhill from there. You all the air seeped out. It was like all the air seeped out of him.
I was sitting in front of my TV because I was actually working and was supposed to be working on something. You know how you working and you listening to something and somebody will say something and where you just be like, what? And you have to stop, because that's what made me stop. When the first thing he said was, he said there's hierarchy in the kingdom. and the Alton said, I didn't know it was hierarchy in the kingdom. I said, what? By that time, I had stopped working long enough to listen to what he was saying. And
the hierarchy came after Yacoba asked him the question about the That was like the, and it was like, you wanted to just kind of like, just throw in the towel, like Rocky, get out of there, Rocky. It was like, when he did that portion, I was like, oh my goodness. But that's part of the problem, because they're teaching as if there's two covenants, the original covenant to Israel, and that the new covenant per se is given to the church. And the church is nowhere there. It's been given to Israel, the new and the renewed covenant. I mean, the original covenant, and I refer to as the renewed covenant. But if they want to call it the new covenant, no matter what labels you want to put on there, it still was given to Israel. Yep. And that's what many say. No, we're not teaching replacement theology, but yet you're still saying that the covenant was given to the church.
Yep. Yep, and that's so interesting. And then, not to mention, what's so funny is after they got done, and G-Con got on there, and I said, "Oh my, G-Con and Dante on the same channel." I was done by the time I had closed my laptop and said, "Let me see how this goes." And what's interesting is usually Yacoba is the one that's just like
Yacoba held it. I was like, I mean, even though they were getting a little, rude and their tone and everything, Yacoba didn't let it rattle them.
And I talked to him today. I said, I got confused. I was like, is this Teo on? Is this Yacoba? Because Teo is the one that's very calm. Yacoba is the one that's just like, but he was like, and then Dante came in and he was like, and you ain't going. I said, wait, Dante is screaming. I was laughing so hard. But he said, go here, go here. And he was trying to get him to pay attention to what he was saying. And what I do advise Brent to stop doing is stop jumping in and let them finish talking. Stop jumping in, because they thrive on that. That I hope that Brent can kind of save us, because that's exactly what they do. They hang on that because Brent doesn't do it consciously. He does it unconsciously, because I think that's just how he is. But they cling to that, because the minute he jumps in, they try to change the subject real fast. And I'm just like, be quiet, Brent, shut up. That's what I wanted to say. I was at the TV. I was like, be quiet. Because he had almost called him, because he said, the Levites are supposed to build that temple. So how are they the people? And before you know it, that's when he started yelling, the Levites are over there now. They're recruiting the Limba. And by the time Maria jumped in, and I was like,
yeah, we'll see. What was the contradiction was G-Con said that that the original people were black, remember? But then he said that the people that's there are the people of the book, as far as the Ashkenaz. So, that's a contradiction right there. I was sending you text messages like, hey, look, this right here, but the problem is, you can't have it both ways.
Yep.
Even in their literature. And I one of the references, I reference it all the time. And I think I have, matter of fact, if I have my laptop, I'm in my butt bag and I'll pull a book out. I keep it with me all the time. The Jewish Almanac, 1980, page 3, the first paragraph says that it is not correct to call a Jew an Israelite or an Israelite a Jew. Yeah. And it makes it clear that the Jews, it says, are not Israelites. You can't even use the term Hebrew. That's in their first paragraph of their book. So when you understand that, it's like, what else can you say? They call themselves Israeli. Yep. Israeli means, they use that term because it means, when you do the etymology, that when you use that term, it's for those that are not aboriginal to the land.
Correct.
So they use Israeli. They even use it for their language. They use, even call the area Israeli for the most part. So that's where, just that right there. So when he was saying some of those things, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is he saying? I mean, he's literally trying to say that the very people that says and make it clear that they're not original to the area, you're saying that they are original to the area. Correct. And not only are they original, they are Levites. Mm-hmm. They're the priesthood.
Yep. Yeah.
Which you can just, it's so easy to debunk all of that,
It really is.
but again, it's just, while they, the Ashkenazi, all of them just sit back laughing, like, look at this, see, we got them.
Yep.
They arguing about stuff we're not even arguing about.
Yep.
Look at them, it is self check. Look at it, they got the truth over there. They know who they are, but look at the fight that they have to deal with internally. They not even fighting us.
Man, and I'm telling you, I said, if y'all don't pay attention, y'all gonna look the wrong direction when it comes to the Messiah. You're gonna have a lot of people. What is going on? Is that
Major, he put it in, Dante was like Pinky from Friday. Say it again. Say it again. It is over. I ain't playing, Ninja. They cutting up over there, man. They are cutting up, man.
yesterday was hilarious because I know you was just sitting back watching, like, what are they doing? Because it started at, and I know you get tired, but it started like at 9 o'clock in the morning. I get a message, and you know me. It started at like at 8. And I got a message. I think it was like 8 or 9. I'm not a morning person.
It went that long? Man, that's like the song that never ends, right?
It went for a minute. I'm not a morning person. It probably was 10, but I hadn't quite woke up yet. And when I got the message, I looked at my phone and I said, what is this? I didn't respond. That's why when I got on there, I was like, Maria, what is this? And everybody laughed. I was like, it is too early in the morning. I got to be, maybe it was 12 o'clock. It was 12 o'clock when he sent the message, but that was still too early. I got through like 2 meetings, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I haven't even really finished my first cup of coffee. So I'm looking, I said, I'm not going to get out there. I'm not. Let me finish up on my stuff and get done with a few things. And I actually got done with stuff early. And it was riding into my lunch. I said, well, I got a lunch break. Let me go ahead and take this lunch and just go on and do it. Because I did. See, I don't play with YouTubes while I'm doing work hours. Let that be known. I actually take my lunch and do it. This is not company hours, unlike some people. But I ended up just saying, okay, I got an hour and a half I can kill. So I get on. And when I got on, that's when I was like, what is this, Berea? What are we doing? But it went from 12:30 until like it was like 4 o'clock when they got done, because I remember closing my day up and I said, man, they still out here. It was like he had segments of people coming on, and it was hilarious. It went from me and Maria arguing with each other to, which happens easy, doesn't take much for me and him, but to ending with Jacoba and Dante giving G-Con their work. It was ridiculous. I said, wow. And that's all Dante needed. He was like, oh, I'm going. And when he put G-Con on the panel, I was like, here we go. Here we go. We're going to be here for another 2 hours. But the good thing is Dante had something he had to do. Because if he didn't, it would probably carried on just a little bit longer.
Yeah. But it was good dialogue. I mean, they held their own. I mean, it's like, what more can you do? It's almost like, throwing the towel. You know what I mean? It was just that bad. I mean, like every last one of them was like Glass Joe. Like Glass Joe is that one character that you don't even have to have. You don't even have to know how to play the game. Yep. You know how no matter what game you sit down, there's always that first character you could just easily beat up no matter what. But as soon as you get to the next one, then you got to step up your game. But that's how it's like, man, everyone is like Glass Joe, so, but they did a great job. They did a great job. They did a very good job. So
somebody said he had a straight attitude. Yes, I had work to do, and he had been harassing me to get on the live. I'm like, I got work I got to do. But no, somebody had messaged me and said, hey, he wanted you to get on. I was like, I don't even know what this is about. Last time I got on a live blindly, I ended up arguing with somebody. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not finna argue with crazy lady.
Okay, Corral.
I said, no. What? No, I'm just joking. But the only reason I was like, why do y'all, what's going on? And I got on. And then Majors was on there as well. Poe Majors, he was so calm. And here I come. He was just calm, like, this is what we believe. Let's go here. You know how you talk. Let's go here. Man, please. I was like, I'm sick of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. But thank you for coming on. What time is it? We've been out here for an hour, 45 minutes. I done hit my max on live. So y'all can go 2.5 hours now. I can't. So
Yeah. I'm getting a little sleepy myself. I'm about to
I guess
take it down here. But this was a great discussion, and um, let's continue to follow up with Cohen Hamadishi. He and hopefully next time we come on, we can actually really start doing some putting some things together that we could start being a blessing to
Yep.
help some of our brothers and sisters that are really being preyed on per se by other communities for their own agendas. Because the common theme that we see here is for the Limbers, they sending books to them. As he Elder pointed out, when we look at Ethiopians, they sent books to them. Every tribe that they find, they start sending books to them. And last point I'll make, I remember where I was in having a debate with a Jew, right, about identity and everything. And this wasn't online. This was we was at getting a bite to eat at Starbucks, and we were just going back and forth. And so he asked me one question. He said, "What would I say to a new people that was never discovered and finally they were discovered? What would I say to those people?" I said, "Don't allow you guys to go in and take their DNA." And he looked at me. He said, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Because you guys are not the baseline to to humanity. You're not the baseline to the original people. When did you become the baseline?" So when I said that, he was at a loss for words.
Yep, yep, yep. And y'all, we're gonna continue on with our studies and stuff that we've been doing. But every blue moon, I gotta check the folks. Come on, y'all. Y'all know every blue moon, I got to check them. I can't let them slide through sometimes. Not all the time, because they talk about us a lot. But every blue moon, I got to check them. And once I'm done checking them, we move on to the next subject. It may be another month or two before I have to check them again. But we'll continue on. Like I said, I've already reached out to Moray Cletus, and he agreed to come on, and he's Ibu. And
Yeah.
because I asked him, I wanted to make sure, because I ain't just want to ask, what tribe, but he did respond. He told me both. So I said we're gonna have him on, and we'll talk through, his community, which is our community as well, because they're all the same. They're part of the Bantu family. And I'm gonna invite others. It's just time for us to connect with people over in that world, as far as Africa. Start learning about the history of their tribe, and a lot of them live by their oral history. So just get that information. It's time out for some of the stuff that we've been doing. We just got to get it from them.
Yeah.
I know their history; they know it. So
Yeah.
it's just be ready. We got other conversations. We're gonna do some more stuff. I know Dante's doing some stuff. I know Pastor Kelly is. Hopefully soon. Like you mentioned, we can all do something like, conferences soon once we get past this, because I think that if we did something, people would come out. How many of y'all, we did a conference, hit one, would you come out? I promise you, it would be a lot of people out, and we would have a good time. But this is something after we get done with this COVID scare. So, like I said,
Yeah.
you mentioned you were going to do something, but it would be amazing. Um,
Yeah.
Is there anything else before we close?
Song never ends. No, you got to get that. You got to put that in there.
You know what?
I got to help you with your clips.
I'm not, y'all.
No, but no, I don't have anything else. Only thing I would say, like I say to our assembly, and even when I close out the lives that I do, I just quote Exodus chapter 14, verse 13 and 14. And I just want to say to our everyone that in that text, the Israelites had come out of Egypt and they came to an impasse. It was like a dead end, and it was water in front of them, and the Egyptians were in pursuit of them. So they knew that if they went back to the Egyptians, they would die. And they knew that they couldn't just stay there stagnant because the Egyptians, they would catch up with them and they would still die. And so they began to complain about, the situation. And so the Most High told Moses to encourage the people with these words. He said to them, these Egyptians that you see today, actually, matter of fact, what he said, to be exact, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh. These Egyptians that you see today, these strongholds, these devices, these things that they put in place, these agendas, these hidden agendas, everything that was put in place to erase us, the hidden ones, right? These things we would never have to deal with it again. In other words, it would never have power over us again. The Most High will fight for us, but we have to hold our peace.
Correct.
Can't go back, can't stay here, keep moving forward.
Correct. So, all right, y'all. So we have, wait a minute. Majors is really cutting up in this chat. He going in the timeout. He cutting up. But like I said, y'all, we are family. We gotta conduct ourselves as a family. We're gonna have problems, we're gonna have issues, but we just have to be the light. We have to be the ones to be the example. So God bless y'all. And Benaya, you coming up here next. You in the chat. That's all right. I'm gonna start pulling you in too. Because you have such in the community, I know we thank you for what you've done, because you've done a lot of work. In Hebrews, if you've not watched it, which I think everybody has seen it, make sure you watch it. It's very good.
Yeah.
But so before we start singing that lamb chop song, because we're gonna say a song that never ends. So we're gonna end it on this, family. Y'all be blessed.